and welcome back to the channel. Foo, thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and flag videos like this.
And away we go. You guys, the brand new Epstein files just dropped and it's completely off the rails. Now let's just jump right into it, starting with this. Bill Gates yet again is in the Epstein files, but this time Epstein mentions his wife in a very interesting situation. So Epstein tells Bill Gates, and I quote, "To add insult to injury, you then implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STD. Your request, I provide you antibiotics that you can surreptitiously give to Melinda and the description of your penis." Bro, what? So not only Bill Gates caught something, but then gave it to his wife. Real stand-up guy. Isn't it funny? That same year, in 2013, Bill Gates offers a challenge for $100K to whomever can make the next generation condom. Completely makes sense now. Now, Bill Gates must have been really pissed off because that same year, Epstein gets kicked off of Xbox. Now, who owns Xbox? Microsoft. Now, moving along to the old school TV star Robin Leach, who hosted the show Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, who they said unalived a young girl at a party. The files say the complainant claims to have a video of a high-profile sex party dealing with cartels and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl to death at a party. What is going on? Then we have this picture of Prince Andrew, who, mind you, lost his royal status and got completely exiled. Shows a young female whose face is redacted and only God knows what and where this is taking place. Oh, it gets even worse for Andrew though, because they said back in the 90s, Maxwell recruited a girl for her modeling career, and instead of modeling, she was sold as a slave for sex and torture. The victim's statement says that Prince Andrew was an accessory to her death as he tortured her and made the victim forced to murder her. Then we have Rachel Chandler, aka the child handler. Now, you may or may not have heard of her because she's been under wraps for a long time, but I know exactly who she is. Now, she was a casting agent who worked closely with Epstein and MC2 Models, which was owned by Jean-Luc Brunel, an accomplice of Epstein. Now, here she is credited in the Epstein files, and she's been seen on private jets with Epstein and Bill Clinton. And it's also to note that Jean-Luc Brunel, just like Epstein, unalived himself in his cell. But it doesn't stop there, because Jay-Z is in the Epstein files as well. Says here, approximately in 1996, some man abducted the victim and then she woke up to Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein, where he inserts her fingers into you know what. Now, the victim states that all this went down in Epstein's mansion in Florida. Now, you guys, there's a whole lot more. I'm gonna do a part 2, but make sure you guys hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, and let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
December 2022, HBO Max quietly removed Westworld from streaming, almost like it was being erased. Strange fate for a show that was once massive, starring Academy Award winner Anthony Hopkins. Almost nobody saw Season 3, which abandons the theme park and reveals the real prison, Rehoboam, a godlike artificial intelligence that runs human civilization. This computer doesn't just predict the future, it decides it. It decides education, careers, relationships. It decides who is stable, obedient, predictable, and who is what the show calls an outlier. Those who are too creative, emotional, or rebellious are labeled a risk. Job offers disappear, school networks reject you, doors close. Survival pushes these outliers into a life of crime, utilizing a phone app within the show, where criminal jobs appear like a job listing on Craigslist. Westworld was massively popular and had a massive budget. Why don't they want you seeing the later season?
What number has the most demonic energy?
I mean, if I had to pick a number, probably say 13. Because if you look at the 13 bloodline Illuminati families, they really like to emphasize that number. And that number 13 is all over society. You have a team called the 49ers, 4 plus 9 is 13. They're going to say it's the 1849 gold rush. Yeah, convenient excuse. Then you have a team called the 76ers. I'm sure they'll say 1776.
Yo, this is crazy right now. We're up at the volcano and it is dropping rocks on the car. This is nuts. lava. This is crazy. Insane. You guys see the rocks? They're falling over here. Nuts. There is a tornado.
Where's the tornado?
It's
Right
like
next to it, right there.
a volcano tornado.
Oh,
Going straight up. This is crazy.
Yeah, up on the ridge line. Right.
41.
That's what happens when a tornado meets a volcano.
Inside the water, they are all women. And those were women from that Genesis chapter 6.
All of them are women.
Yes, the women themselves, that had the carnal knowledge of the angels. Spiritually, something has been exchanged. They didn't die with the flood. They became the mummy waters. Yes, which live inside the water. We that were fishermen in the night, at times you see the mummy waters bathing their babies.
Wait, you were a fisherman.
Yes.
And what you're telling me is that in the night you've seen mummy water bathing
their babies.
with your eyes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. When they see you, they will retire inside. As a fisherman, if you meet those ones that they use the semen to produce the men now, those are the terrible ones.
Don't you think some of these are just made up stories?
Absolutely no. There is a world inside water, and there is a kingdom in the air.
In the water and in the air.
Yes.
Tell me about the one in the air. What you're saying now.
Yes.
I, as a man,
Yes.
can pick a random lady,
Yes.
not knowing that she's not a human being.
Yes.
And if I have intercourse with her,
Yes.
there's a channel
Yes.
through which my semen goes through.
Yes, to produce
To the
other
underworld.
baby and to send them to the world when they are matured.
So when they send them back to the world,
Yes.
who are they and what do they do?
Where did the idea of a four-legged dragon with two wings come from? Some researchers even use that to undermine the idea that dragons were real. They said, we don't find fossils of that. We haven't found a dinosaur or a pterosaur with 4 legs and 2 wings. I saw some of these drawings and paintings, and I thought to myself, those wings were way too small to carry one of these dragons. They weren't big enough for actual flight. And then I looked a little closer, and where is that wing coming from on the body? It looks like it's kind of coming from the armpit. So I was really confused by that. What's going on? Now you guys have probably all seen pterosaurs or pterodactyls like this guy. Paleontologists and scientists, they thought maybe these animals walked like bats. And it turns out these animals could walk and even run pretty well. Several fossils show that the wing actually folds up really close next to the arm. If we bend the wing slightly, what is this starting to look like? Then we add some soft tissue. We don't know exactly what they had. It's starting to look more and more like a dragon. And the front legs and the wings are actually the same structure. It just opens it when it needs to fly. And then when it closes it, the wing tucks back behind the arm. When the wings fold, they look very similar to some of these ancient drawings and paintings.
Why are they hiding this from us? I mean, why is Jesus holding a magic wand in the oldest paintings we've ever found?
Because the Vatican doesn't want you to know he was using a device, not just magic.
I saw the photos from the Roman catacombs. He's pointing a literal wand at Lazarus to raise him from the dead.
It's in almost every 3rd century carving. Short hair, no beard, and always that wand. The church calls it a staff, but look at the grip. It's a precision tool.
You think it's technology?
Think about it. We see the same rods in Egypt and Sumeria. These weren't magical. They were frequency conductors. If you know the resonant frequency of matter, you can restructure it.
So the miracles were actually advanced physics.
Exactly. Tech left over from the era of Atlantis or Tartaria, but after the Council of Nicaea, they had to hide the tool.
Why hide it though?
Because if a tool can perform miracles, then anyone can use it. They had to turn science into religion so they could control the access. If those wands still exist, where are they hiding them?
are we doing? What are we doing, eh? Okay, so, all right.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
We're here at the camp. This is the camp's basically one bathroom. Yeah, and we're trying to shower. It's freezing cold. We've been sitting here for like 20 minutes trying to run it. Like, this is the camp. This is the whole camp. This is where we're sleeping tonight. Tell me if you see anything. Oh wait, there's somebody coming. Hello. Yes, we're lost. Help. No light. Yes, I can't find Elsie. There's no hot water and no light. It's scary. And that door's... No, this is not everything that we wanted. This is scary. There's no light. We're in the middle of nowhere. Look up. Look up. No, it's beautiful.
Right now, we are currently waiting for our bus. No one's here. We're alone at the camp. We are cold. There's no hot water. There's no heat. I'm dying of freezing. We're scared. The drives are scary. And we just want to go home. It's so cold. We're still shaking from our incident.
This is all we have. This tiny fire.
Show the beds. Look how ghetto we are.
No, I know. No, I
This
showed
is like
them.
Love Island.
Let me show. Outside. That's the bathroom. And then those are like all the huts.
You work with angels to get what you need. You work with demons to get what you want. I have a lot of friends that love to work with demons.
Are there any demons like being helpful, or are they all pretty malicious from your experience?
I don't think they're malicious. I choose not to work with fallen angels or demons. I think that they help people, and a lot of people that I've seen, they said that they are on what they believe is their best path of life because of them.
Interesting.
I always invoke angels that are not fallen. It takes a long time to get to where you want to be, whereas a lot of people, when they work with demons, not saying it's good or bad, they will get it more immediate.
Today I'm going to show you guys how we gas the bananas. First we start off with some ethylene gas. We're going to be gassing room 1 today. This is the bananas we will be gassing today. Drop our little gas. Come to our little machine. Open this little bad boy up. And take a pour. Lid. Go. Close this door. Come to room 1. Change it. Hit the gas on off. Vent. Main menu. And we are gassed.
Buying organic makes no difference. You better off growing your own fruits and vegetables.
This is the same playbook as the 1890s World Fair McKinley tariffs combination. So people can look into 1890s to 1893. It's the exact same playbook. You had tariffs, you had farmers go under, you had gold and silver go through the roof, and then you have this crazy time that occurs with it. And for people to be aware, Trump quoted McKinley like as his ideas. So people should be aware of, like, they're telling you the playbook, like, type of thing. And silver right now is at $90 an ounce. This is the highest silver has ever been, and it is only going to keep going up because of the fact that the Federal Reserve System is printing money right now. It's called quantum easing, and they're printing money like crazy. And what happens is this is the same thing they did during 2020. They're trying to balance the inflation, which they cause the inflation. There's really no access to getting more silver. So people should look into this. All of the trade deals for people getting silver, this is why when you go to places like a bullion, you go on like a bullion website, you go to silver and you just see sold out. Every single bullion, every single everything.
Back in the 90s, my sister actually dated a vampire. Well, his skin was a greenish tint and he was known to drink blood, and they almost killed my sister. So my sister used to hang out at a club called Numbers. And in the late 90s, Interview with the Vampire had just come out, and it was all the rage to be a vampire, right? And so they would all dress in their beautiful Victorian style clothing, and they would all go down to the goth club. My sister was no exception to this rule. She would do the same thing. She got mixed up with a gentleman who was kind of the leader of the group. They had been involved in a crime in Houston, and my sister was not aware of the crime when it was happening, and she was made aware of it after it had taken place. A gentleman had been held hostage against his will, and they had done unspeakable things to him. Eventually, this group of people all went down for the crime, and they all did jail time, and some of them wound up in prison. But they thought that my sister was the one who had tipped off the authorities to what they had done, even though she had no knowledge of what was going on. And so they spiked her drink, and they cut her all over her body and drank her blood, and then put her in her car. They put her on the side of one of the main freeways in Houston, and when she woke up the next day, she couldn't even remember who she was. She was completely disoriented. She managed to get off the freeway somehow, and she remembered the phone number to the place where my mom worked and called and talked to someone who worked at the clinic where my mom was at, and they were able to tell her how to get home. She was green. There was a very real fear that she wasn't going to survive whatever they had done to her. It was bad, but they were vampires, like legit vampires.
All right, so my sister is walking up. She wants to see what's going on. I mean, YOLO, right? Screw it. All right, let's go see here. Ignore the reflection of my car. She's gonna go see what's the deal. And you can see there's like some houses in the background and new development and stuff. My question is, are these security lights, because they are security lights, are they related to, like, I don't know much about security lights, but I mean, are they possibly motion activated to all the traffic going by? Because there's a pretty constant stream of traffic behind me. Like I said, they've been doing some significant developing around here. So she's gonna try and check this out before we get pulled over by a cop who wants to know what we're doing. But it's definitely an seemingly abandoned house. So, yeah, nope. She got scared. Okay.
That's SOS in Morse code. Call the cops.
I wonder about Charlie Kirk. Everybody's got a theory on Charlie Kirk. So
yeah, well, there's so many people. There's so many like ex-military dudes talking about how like there's no way that round from that matches that gun, and if it's a 30-06, the entry wound in the neck, there would have absolutely been an exit wound.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So here's the theory. Again, this is what me and John kind of discussed. Is all right. So they're saying that shot was from 43 yards or something like that, right?
Yeah.
All right, 143 yards. Again, we've got the acoustics from two different camera systems that were on the left and right side of Charlie Kirk facing the audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based on the acoustics, right? The acoustics said that shot came from 74 yards and not 143 yards to his front. So when you do the intersection, it shows that 74 yards, not out here at 143, right? And actually in front of some trees, not from the trees, but in front of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They say there were no drones, but we have video of drones, and actually there's a video of a drone flying right in front of Charlie Kirk, away and upward at the same time the shots fired.
Really?
Yeah. And so we looked at the drone, and what we found was there's a particular drone out there. It's got kind of like a hole shape to it. It's about that big. And you can weaponize drones now. You can.
Sure.
Easy peasy, right? And not only that, you can install AI, so facial recognition. It will 100% pick your face out of 1,000 people every time, right? At different distances. And here's what the theory is. The theory is that drone was armed, had facial recognition in it, because you can see it. So if I'm Charlie Kirk facing the audience, it flew over my head just like this, went just like that, and then the shot was taken. And it's out of the picture. It's so fast, right? We've actually seen it flying around a couple times in there. Now, here's the crazier part. So the U.S. government has two They're like G5s, right? These fixed wing ISR birds, and apparently they're trying to sell them now. Wonder why. But anyways, these birds, they're ISR platforms, but they're also capable of delivering drones, right? So imagine a G5 jet that can deliver a drone, and I'm assuming recover a drone, right? So here's what happened. On that same particular day, before the shooting actually happened, one of those aircraft flew from somewhere up north, like, I don't know, maybe Idaho, flew south. It dropped from 14,000 feet to 200 feet AGL, right there around the university in Utah. Dropped to 200 feet, did a loop-de-loop, and then lifted back off, right? 20 minutes before Charlie Kirk was killed, that same aircraft was coming back, dropped down to 200 feet, did a loop.
In the water. Do you believe that there's some in the water that we haven't been able to get to?
And there's some on land. There's a swamp in Africa called the Likawala Swamp. I covered this on video number 3. Dinosaurs that may still be alive. There have been 50 expeditions into that swamp. That swamp is bigger than the state of Alabama, and it is 80% unexplored. A missionary friend of mine was over there as a missionary trying to reach these pygmies in this area. He learned their language. His daughter was sitting there coloring a coloring book of a dinosaur while he's talking to the natives. They said, "Oh, she's coloring Mokale Mbembe. Don't get close. He'd kill you with his tail." He said, "What? Mokale Mbembe? Oh yeah, they live in the river. Don't get close. They eat the Molombo plant." They showed him the plants that their favorite food. He said they live underwater most of the time, stick their neck up, eat. They said our grandparents killed one and ate it, and all of them died. So it must be some kind of poison in the meat or something. Or maybe they tried to keep it too long without refrigeration. I don't know. There's many books on that.
I almost pass out when he's doing the ritual. He had his hands on me, and I think if he didn't, I might have fallen over because I felt this overwhelming just rush of something, and I did almost pass out in that moment. Literally leaving there, I remember thinking, okay, things are going to get better from now on. I don't remember having dreams after that day, actually. Negative thoughts still popped into my head after that, but when they did, I went, no, I've been cleansed. I don't need to think like that anymore.
What's that?
What is it?
A roach.
Get it!
And bro made a DIY radiation.
Okay, you guys. I've shown you guys this symbol time and time again. And how is it that every time it deals with something with kids, it shows up? I've showed you this in many videos now, pretty much all around the world, and here it is again. So if you see right there, we have the laugh out loud kids. And what's that symbol right there? What is that symbol? You see it right there? There it is. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put it on the screen. I can't say too much because it gets crazy, but that is from 2007 FBI disclosure where they disclose these particular symbols. How is it that that symbol comes up every time when it comes to kids? How? You guys have to understand, this is how they speak, through code, through symbols. Start to do research on etymology, start to do research on esoteric knowledge. All these things are literally in front of your face and you're none the wiser. But subconsciously you're taking this stuff in. Laugh out loud kids clubs, I'm sorry. Sorry to put you on blast, but it's not a coincidence.
I am home alone with 2 cats. They don't have hands. I did not do that. I woke up to this in my bedroom. I know my room's messy, whatever. That's my bed. Woke up to that, saw it from across the room, and I am home alone. What do I do here?
They weren't playing around to come to the protest, huh? They got every equipment ready for the protest. Look, never. Say what's up. Never. My boy came prepared.
Yo, this is like some Narnia right now.
Train arrives the day after tomorrow.
Hey, so just to let everyone know, there is no city over there. There are lights flickering in the clouds. I know you can see that. Hold on, what? I promise you guys, I swear to you guys, there's not a city over there. I'm not gonna say where I live, but what is happening? No, dude, hold on.
Hey,
Hey, what?
how you doing?
Leave me alone, sir. All you do is bother and harass me. And I'm fucking tired of it. Fucking tired. You just harass. And then get mad about this and that. I'm tired of it. Like, it's not your shit. It's the store shit.
It's not yours either.
It's not. Y'all got insurance. Why are you mad?
Why
You know
you-
y'all got insurance.
What's wrong?
What?
You can't fit any more stuff in there.
All right, I'm gone. Let me go. Excuse me, sir. Let me go.
No.
I'm gonna vomit. They are organic too. That isn't, look at it, Dom, it's going up. Look. Oh, God, my God. Can you get the bag for that out of the trash can? Because I want to tell the store about it. It's right there, this one. Bring it over here. This one? Yeah, like open it up and bring it over here. Okay, put that under here so I can show exactly what it was. Wegmans organic carrots. That is a live tapeworm that is moving all by itself.
I'm sufficiently grossed out.
I'm sufficiently grossed out too. These are the ones we give to Bob.
I know,
I think candy bars don't have this problem.
This is wild. An 80-year-old man from England has been sentenced to 16 years in prison after using £2.4 million he won from the lottery to build an underground drug empire, which he built to a valuation of $288 million. What in the Walter White? Pensioner John Spivey, who lives in a quiet rural area just outside of Wigan, won the lottery in 2010. But instead of kicking his feet up and retiring with millions in the bank, the court heard that he decided to purchase a premises, help adapt it, and even bought machinery worth thousands of dollars to make drugs. He then hired 3 men to help out with his operation, one of them being his son. What a great dad. And then for the next decade, John and his small team started flooding the region with millions upon millions of these counterfeit tablets disguised as diazepam. Oh, and on the side, they were also supplying firearms. So eventually, their huge operation was busted. And during the trial, the judge concluded this as the largest production of drugs of this nature that has ever been uncovered by the police. John will be released from prison at the age of 96. Probably gonna run that prison too.
Check this out. So the theory is usually when people start blowing up or before they really pop off, they
go
dye
blonde.
their hair blonde.
Yeah.
And you see it in celebrities, actors, actresses, social media personalities. I'm pretty sure Rice Gum's done it.
Yeah, he's done it for sure, yeah.
But this is what's weird. Ariana Grande, before she started going on like the whole Wicked press tour and all that stuff,
yeah,
she put out a video and people are speculating in this video she's trying to reveal the truth about dyeing her hair blonde. Now, in the beginning of the video, she has brown hair.
Yeah.
Cool? And in the video, oh my God, I forgot to mention this.
What happened?
She was actually on the red carpet. An interviewer asked her about something and she goes, and she kind of made a joke. He's like, I don't remember. That's probably because of the, what did she say? She said exactly.
They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm happy.
Oh, I did
You
see
see
this.
this, right?
I have seen that.
The Brighter Days memory erasure treatment. Cool?
Yeah.
What she's referencing is her music video. So in her music video, it's the Brighter Days memory erasure. Now, that's a callback to a Jim Carrey movie. I forgot what it's called. Leave down in the comments if you guys know.
Okay.
But theory is the blonde hair isn't them dyeing their hair blonde. It's a result of going through the procedure. When you dunk your head into the liquid and putting your brain into the vat,
what?
It changes the color of your hair.
There is a lady in my village that they killed for blood money.
They killed her in the village?
Yes, they buried her. But this lady reappeared in another city. People saw her and they came to tell people. They revisited her grave. Did you know what they saw there?
What?
A trunk of banana.
Inside
the grave, not a human being. You may be led to believe that there is reincarnation and so on and so forth, but those are familiar spirits.
When you talk about familiar spirits, what do you mean?
I went to the farm very early. I was coming back in the evening and I met someone that I knew very well going towards the direction of the farm. I was talking to him, where are you going? He was talking to me, I was rushing. When I got home, I learned that he died in the morning and was buried in the afternoon. And he passed me in the evening. When you talk about a familiar spirit, those are the spirit of the Nephilims, the demons. So they mimic everything a human being that has sold his life to them do.
Professor Olotu Paul Ngbede, how do you know what you're saying is true?
It's true. One, I studied them. Two, I have references.
You studied them where?
My profession
Yeah.
is traditional medicine and pharmacognosy. When you talk about traditional medicine, it gives room for which doctrine you can study. So there are people that practice it. Like now, we have the right to travel to a babalawo, as they call it, and interview the person, get information, get drugs from the person, take it to the lab and see whether the claim is true or not. And we also have the right to meet with all these spiritual people.
Yeah.
To interview them if you are lucky, even with witches.
So you've met some of them?
Yes.
You've met witches?
Yes. We do that as our field work.
Your field work?
Yes, yes, yes.
Are most herbal medicines in Nigeria, the ones that are sold in Nigeria,
yes,
that you know of, are they good or just sophisticated fraud?
Everything talks. Even plants, they talk to each other.
Can you talk to a tree?
Well,
oh my god, I am freaking out. I left the door open. This guy came into the house. Come here, kitty. Come on. Oh my god, where the hell is that? Come here. Oh my god, that cat is so big. Oh my god. Oh my god. Come here. Come here. Oh my, no, 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 no. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Who? I don't know who you belong to. Let's go. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hi, kitty. What are you doing here? Do not get on my bed. Come on. Come on. Come on. What the heck? This is the cat that Amaya was touching. And now, don't you dare.
Congratulations, that's a $120,000 cat. Close the door and delete the video.
Un pescado, una especie de pescado algo rara, no la conocíamos por aquí, pero un pez transparente. Salió en un jig de 30 gramos. Ahí se mira donde se mueve, mira. Me agarró esta especie y nunca me ha tocado verla a mí.
That's why they placed an eye in a triangle. Not because it represents Satan or Lucifer, but because it represents the three ways the soul expresses its energy, through thought, emotion, and action: the brain, the heart, and the physical body. If you think randomly, it will lead to random emotions and actions. You need to stay conscious of your thoughts, emotions, and actions in order to create a reality that you want. That's why there is an eye in the middle. The eye is open, representing staying aware. Staying aware of your thoughts, emotions, and actions is what leads to conscious creation. Most people act, think, and feel randomly, and randomly create their reality, and wonder why there is so much chaos. These are your three powers that you hold 100% control over. If you try and control anything else but these three powers, you are breaking natural law.
Are you not disturbed, not slightly phased, as you open your future load deposit doll from its shipping casket?
That's definitely a Jason-born safe house.
Guys, I'm out here in the middle of what used to be the Pacific Ocean. Year 2050. Sun is beating hard. Look at this ground. Dry like a tortilla left in the fire. I'm walking on the ocean floor. Back there, you see that big thing? That's the Gerald Ford aircraft carrier. Nobody around. Completely abandoned. I'm gonna climb up through that emergency ladder right there. Man, rust everywhere. No sound but the wind. Raza, y andamos en lo que era el Pacífico. Año 2050 y miren nomás, todo esto antes estaba lleno de agua, se secó, quedó puro piso cuarteado lleno de sal. Aquí voy caminando y chequen ese monstruo atrás de mí, un carguero de contenedores, quedó varado cuando el mar se fue. Ya tiene años oxidándose, se le cayeron las letras, miren cómo chorrea. Aquí en el Océano Pacífico, year 2050, the sea, it dried after the Third World War. Mira behind me, cargueros, big ships just sitting on the dirt. And those cars from the 1950s all rusted, they were dumped when the water went. Raza, sigo caminando aquí en lo que era el Océano Pacífico. Año 2050 y miren, todo seco. Llevo horas caminando. Ya vengo bien cansado, traigo la boca resecada, ni agua me queda, pura tierra cuarteada hasta donde alcanza la vista. Y ahí enfrente, chequen nomás, un barco antiguo. Se me hace de los 1400, vean.
That's all the students that didn't pass.
It's taken me 25 years to come to the conclusions that I have come to. And I want to tell you that one of the biggest things I discovered in my work was the existence of a supranational committee composed of 300 men called the Committee of 300, also known in intelligence circles as the Olympians.
300 people you've never heard of. They don't hold office, they don't give speeches, they don't campaign, they don't need your vote. And he's not talking about the secret societies you've heard 100 times. This is what the headlines never touch.
This is the committee that runs the world. Now, in my book, The Committee of 300, I name every one of them. This is not a book that talks about they. It gives you specifics.
Now, this is one of those videos that rarely stays visible for long. But what you're about to watch will explain a lot of the strange things happening in the world right now. So let's get right into it.
Who and what is the Committee of 300? Well, I've dealt with that. I've told you this is a supranational body that knows no boundaries, respects the laws of no countries. The first time that they were publicly announced was by a German socialist by the name of Walter Rathenau. Now, I'll give you some background of Walter Rathenau. He was the financial advisor to the Kaiser of Germany, and he was also the financial advisor to the Rothschilds, the French family Rothschild. So he must have known what he's talking about. He made an astonishing statement in 1934. He said, there is a committee of 300 men that rule the world. They are known only to each other, and nothing happens without their consent.
This isn't about symbols, or handshakes, or a club everyone already suspects. This is the top of the chain. At least that's his claim. The structure nobody sees. And as this man will explain, every organization has its place. They all fit into a hierarchy. But at the very top, 300 people. Pay attention to this part.
I came across this quite by accident when I was serving in Africa, in Angola, and I was given a series of documents which were only supposed to be handed in to top-level people. They were what we call above the top level of classification of intelligence documents. And there I discovered that whilst I thought I was in Africa fighting against the invasion of the communists, I was in fact fighting to introduce socialist regimes in the black African countries, and that I was actually working for a committee called the Committee of 300, also known in intelligence circles as the Olympians.
This isn't someone guessing from the sidelines. He's describing a moment where the story didn't match the mission. He thought he was fighting one enemy. Then he claims he realized he was building something else entirely. And that raised a different kind of question. Not who's in charge, but how high the chain really goes. His name is Dr. John Coleman, and he frames this as a 25-year-old investigation shaped by intelligence-level access. Let's keep going.
In 1986, I wrote a work called Mind Control, Metaphysics, Extremely Low Frequency Radiation and Weather Modifications. And in that work, July the 8th, 1986, I said that the top-level intelligence organization in the United States was the National Reconnaissance Office, far bigger than the CIA and any of the other intelligence agencies. And by the way, we have about 10 different ones in the United States. I even had the audacity to give the address of this organization. 3 weeks ago, Mr. Sam Donaldson, the gentleman who wears that beautiful toupee so effectively, he came on with the program in prime time and he said, this is one of the biggest scoops that ABC has ever had. And he told about the National Reconnaissance Organization. The exact same thing that I published 8 years earlier. I tell you this to set the stage so that you'll understand I do have some experience and that I know that of which I speak.
So here's what he's doing. He's not just making a claim. He's planting a marker in time, 1986. And he says he named the organization before the public was even supposed to know it existed. Because once you understand that layer exists, you stop thinking intelligence is just spies in meetings. It's reach, it's visibility, it's who gets to see the world first and who reacts second. And if a system like that sits above the usual agencies, then you have to ask a darker question. What sits above that? Watch this.
And I came across the families in Italy who were called the Fondi, meaning the people who had all the money. They were all members of the Committee of 300, the Lucatis, the Recanatis, the Volpi du Miseratis. These people are so wealthy that they would make David Rockefeller look like a piker. That is how rich they are. And this is the committee that runs the world. Now, in my book, The Committee of 300, I name every one of them. This is not a book that talks about they. It gives you specifics.
This is where his story shifts, from theory to names. Not they, not someone. He's saying, I can point to families. And whether you believe his list or not, the idea underneath it is real. Power doesn't reset every 4 years. It accumulates. It inherits. It survives scandals, elections, and headlines. Because the kind of influence that lasts isn't built on popularity. It's built on ownership, on access, on networks that don't need to introduce themselves. But even wealth isn't the whole machine. Wealth needs a way to move the world without showing its hand. And this is where it gets uncomfortable.
When former head of state Mikhail Gorbachev visited the United States a few years ago, flanked by George Bush and Quayle, he opened his Gorbachev Foundation in the United States. And he let slip, he said, this is being done with approval of the Committee of 300. CNN cameras were on him. They immediately switched. Now, I wrote to CNN and I said, could I have a transcript of this program, which they said was available. I never got a reply. I followed it up with letter after letter, but nothing ever came of it. The point I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen, is that the federal government, the secret upper-level parallel government that runs the United States, does not want you to know that you have an upper-level parallel government that calls the shots, that dictates what is going to happen to your life and mine.
That line changes everything. Because now he's not describing a theory, he's describing a system that protects itself. Maybe there's an innocent explanation, maybe not. But the point is this: if influence can decide what gets recorded, then it can also decide what gets remembered. And once power becomes something you can't even trace, the next question isn't who, it's where. Where does a structure like that live? Because it wouldn't operate as a rumor, it would operate through institutions. Pay attention to this part.
I revealed the existence of an organization called the Royal Institute for International Affairs, which is located at Chatham House in 10 St. James Square in London. I also revealed the existence of the Club of Rome, the Cini Foundation, the Montpellerin Society, the Order of St. John, which was known but not known, and I listed all of these secret societies that run the world as executive arms of the Committee of 300. So it controls the world through all of these. The Royal Institute for International Affairs is the executive arm of this committee, which gives instructions to the United States government to this very day. The chain of command is as follows. Every Secretary of State that has been appointed since 1919 is appointed by the Royal Institute for International Affairs. That may come as a shock for you. You think you vote and you put a conservative in the White House, and then he appoints supposedly or allegedly conservative people to carry out the policies that you wanted him to implement. Surprise, surprise. I ask you to find me a conservative Secretary of State since 1919. And if you search diligently and apply the correct rules, you will come up blank. Every one of the Secretaries of State was chosen in London by the Secretary of State, as was Wilson, the President Wilson, as was Roosevelt, as was James Earl Carter. He was specially chosen because he'd had 3 mental breakdowns, and they felt he would be a good guy to manipulate. Oh, I'm talking facts.
Different presidents, different parties, the same advisory structure. Because when policy is filtered before it even reaches an election, votes don't change direction, they change packaging. But institutional influence alone doesn't move societies. To shape real outcomes, it needs something stronger. Leverage, economic pressure, dependence that turns choices into necessities. And that's where the next phase begins.
This Committee of 300 told a man called Aurelio Pecci to form this Club of Rome with the main object of bringing down the industries and the agricultural development of the United States. He immediately wrote a paper in which he said there are too many people on the earth, and that the United States, with its industrial development, its agricultural development, is responsible for this curse of overpopulation. So the Club of Rome was instituted and organized to start an attack on the world's population using the United States as the whipping boy. And they came up with a paper called the Zero Growth Post-Industrial Plan for Industry and Agriculture for the United States of America.
This is where his claims shift from politics to pressure. He connects the Committee of the Club of Rome. He connects the Club of Rome to zero growth. And then he connects zero growth to one outcome: tightening the system. Now, you don't have to accept the motive he assigns to it, but the mechanism is real. When systems tighten, the impact doesn't hit evenly. The wealthy buffer it, the poor adapt to it, and the middle absorbs it. Mortgages, wages, savings, stability. That's the layer that carries the strain. Now listen closely to what he claims next.
The middle class in the United States of America had to be destroyed because in the coming push to a world order, the middle class would be the stumbling block, because history had shown that the peasant class in ancient days, when they had revolted, were just easily crushed. There was no resistance. But now had grown a new super class of people in the United States called the middle class, who had long-term employment, who had job security, who were well paid, who could afford to buy the products that were made by the United States and didn't need to buy products from China or anywhere else. And the Club of Rome post-industrial zero-growth paper said this has got to stop. We have to bring down the middle class of the United States. And the way that we will do this, the way that we will accomplish this task, is by crushing their industries.
Whether you call it policy, markets, or global pressure, the weight never lands evenly. It lands where society is most stable, the middle. Because the middle has something to lose: a job, a mortgage, a routine, a future. And when that layer weakens, dependence grows quietly. Not overnight, but structurally. While ordinary people feel instability as pain, those above it experience the same events as logistics. They hedge, they move assets, they buy buffers. And that's the real divide. Not what happens, but who it happens to. Here's how Coleman explains it.
The Club of Rome celebrated its anniversary, and Alexander King, its chairman, stated, the American people henceforth must get used to the idea that they will never ever again in their lifetime have full employment. What a scandalous thing that our government is fully cooperating with this organization built up by the Royal Institute for International Affairs to destroy the middle class of the United States.
By the end of this, you realize something disturbing. Coleman isn't asking you to fear a group, he's asking you to notice a pattern. That power doesn't always rule by force, it rules by structure. It decides what gets funded, what gets outsourced, what gets normalized, and what becomes permanent. And once society is locked into pressure, it doesn't need to be controlled loudly, it controls itself. And that's why faces can change, and the direction can stay identical. So maybe the question isn't who runs the world, maybe it's simpler than that. What is the system designed to produce, no matter who you vote for?
And that's a wrap for today, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me, smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.